Now, let me reintroduce this. This is the training manual, right, that was issued by the United States War Department, aka the Department of Defense, on November the 30th, 1928. So this manual is from 1928, and the manual training number, or the number of this manual, is TM, right, training manual 2000-25. And this is a citizenship manual. All right. Now, I keep on making references to this whole cancel culture, right, being democracy, aka mobocracy. And I want to explain why I keep on saying these things. All right. Because again, when these groups of people gang up, right, in the example that we heard, against a teenage girl because she's wearing a Chinese traditional dress, right, they are mobbing her. That's mob rule. Now, right here, you can see that democracy is a government of the masses. It results in mobocracy. That's why it's not strange to me that the people doing this are on the left side of the aisle. They are an extremist group, right, of progressive activists that is within the Democratic Party. I'm not surprised, because that's what democracy is according to this training manual that was issued by the United States government, right? Now it says the attitude towards property is communistic, negating property rights. Now, our right to freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of association is a form of property. It's a form of property. Your thoughts are things, right? Your words are things, and it's your property.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's your right. You know, she has a right to wear what she chooses.
To express herself.
And rights, you know, you can look up 1,000 definitions for rights, but to sum it up in one word, rights are your property. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to negate her property, which is her right to wear what she chooses to wear. And the fact that, you know, now, do you know the result of them mobbing up against her, and like what did she, how did she respond to that?
That's what I'm not certain. And I believe the Washington Post article goes into that, but I didn't want to spend too much time on that per se. Mm-hmm. I also wanted to deal with the fact that you have this cancel culture that's going around, and they're trying to destroy people's careers and their opportunity. This is why the rapper Tom MacDonald was rapping what he's rapping. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so I wanted to deal with the issue that, to me, the same people that cry and bitch about bullying, which is the left, these are the same people that cry and bitch about bullying, are the ones that's actually bullying through what they call cultural appropriation, or the cancer culture, right? That's all. It's all in the same scope. And I'm like, simply all it is mobocracy, aka democracy, and it's communistic. The attitude behind it is communistic. Now, I'm still gonna tie this. I got more to tie this. You know, I'm gonna tie this for everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I want to lay this out right now. I want them to see why I keep on saying this. You know what I mean? Because like right here, it says attitude towards law is that the will of the majority, which will be the people canceling out other people, shall regulate whether it's based upon deliberation or governed by passion. Are these people passionate about how they feel, and they don't like the fact that that she's wearing this dress? So they are regulating her with passion because they don't like the fact she has it on and she's white. She's wearing a Chinese dress, right? Whether it's governed by prejudice, right? And with impulse, and without constraints or regard to consequence. These people basically are just operating out of their emotion. It's the point I'm trying to raise, which is democracy. But we don't have a democracy here in America. That's not guaranteed in our Constitution. We have a guaranteed Republican form of government. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do is show the thought process of a large segment of people in our country, right, is predicated in democracy, which leads to communism. And I'm gonna get there. I'm trying to unpack this. I'm going somewhere with this, and I'm presenting all the facts. You know what I'm saying? So can't nobody sit there and say what we saying right here is not true, because I'm laying it all out. So again, this booklet is from 1928, y'all.
And also explain that the book is authentic because the book was authenticated by the
Congressional Record, the Senate,
Library of Congress.
Yeah, and we had the Library of Congress. Yep. Yep,
Yeah,
we have
authenticated copy, which sits anything that's in the Library of Congress come from the Archives Department. So the Archive Department, they don't house documents that are meaningless. You know, they don't house documents and preserve these documents if they're not real, or if they're not part of what the United States of America was intended to operate under. So the reason why I keep continue to go back to this book is to show how this book really expressed how the United States is supposed to conduct themselves. But as we see now, that it's turning into something that it was not the original intent by the founding thieves of the country and those who wrote the Constitution. So based on that, whenever the people that are doing going against the young lady for wearing the dress, they're trying to create the mob. You know what I'm saying? So you start as a little group, and it build like a snowball going down the hill. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to start the snowball to go down the hill to make everyone fall underneath their mobocracy and democracy, and it probably will work eventually because of the misinformation, the unintelligent, how the people became through the educational system. You know what I'm saying? So this democracy is being fed by, if you watch the other videos on democracy, by the government, by the president, by the congressman. You know, so this democracy is being pushed upon us by the people that we look to for guidance within our country, which is very dangerous to me, and I don't know where they're going with it. So one of our main reasons why we're on the internet is to try to explain and express to people that we have to do our own study. Keith and I done our own study, our own research, and we're presenting this to you with evidence. You know, we leave our feelings aside. What Keith believe, what I believe, how Keith vote, how I vote, doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're trying to get to the root of what's really going on and how this country was originally founded by the thieves, and how it would benefit us more to really understand civics and the law for ourselves, because we're being misrepresented and miseducated through the system created by them. I just want to put that out there. I ain't mean to digress.
No. I'm glad you said that, because I'm gonna show where this is leading to. I'm glad that you just laid all of that out there, what you just said, because I'm gonna show where this is leading to. All right. And I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna show the facts. All right. Now check this out, y'all. Now, here we go. Okay, here we go right here. I have an article that's from the businessinsider.com, right? Now, this article says that China, right, has started ranking citizens with a creepy social credit system. Here's what you can do wrong, and the embarrassing, demeaning ways they can punish you. All right. So in China, right, they have been developing a social credit system. All right. And this credit system, right, is developed to where they can actually blacklist you or blackball you. Right. Now, it says right here, China plans to rank all of its citizens based on their social credit by 2020. Now, keep in mind the word social, right? Like socialism, social. It says people can be rewarded or punished according to their scores, right? So you can get rewarded, but you can also be punished.
And that's crazy.
Isn't it?
Damn.
It says like private financial scores, a person's social score can move up and down according to their behavior. At the moment, the system is piecemeal. Some are ran by city councils, while others are scored by private tech platforms that hold personal data. And then it says scroll down to see how you can be punished or rewarded. So we're going to take a quick look at this, y'all. We're going to unpack this. All right. And it says the Chinese state is setting up a vast ranking system that will monitor the behavior of its enormous population and rank them based on its social credit. The social credit system, first announced in 2014, aims to reinforce the idea that keeping trust is glorious and breaking trust is disgraceful, according to a government document. The program is due to be fully operational nationwide by 2020. So here we are, we in 2021, right? So it should be fully operational right now. It says, but it is being piloted for millions of people across the country already. It says the scheme will be mandatory. So this means it applies to all Chinese residents, man. It's mandatory. It says at the moment the system is piecemeal. Some are ran by city councils. Okay, others are scored by private tech platforms which hold personal data. And it says, like credit scores, a person's social score can move up and down depending on their behavior. The exact methodology is a secret, but examples of infractions include bad driving, smoking in non-smoking zones, buying too many video games. Now that's a funny one. And it says posting fake news online. So imagine that. Now, posting fake news to me can simply mean a person give their opinion. Example, a person can post something on Twitter saying that they believe the election was rigged, right? The election here in America. If that was China, then you could get a bad score for saying something like that. That's crazy, right? Now that's crazy according to American values.
Yeah, because also that right there is even deeper, because you can be posting something true, but they deem it to be fake news.
To be fake, yeah.
You know, so that's the danger. That's the total infringement of everything spiritually, godly. I mean, that's crazy to live your life and be babysat, because that's what they're doing. They're gonna babysit you, and if you don't act a certain way, you're gonna be punished. I read about that some years ago, and that's how they was catching a lot of their criminals. They got every corner, every state in certain cities in China videotape, and they hit your retina on your eyes, and they can identify you, and they'll lock you up if you have a warrant. So you have no privacy nowhere in China, and that has crept. I'm not saying it's coming here; it's here.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna link it. Right. I'm gonna link this for them.
Go ahead.
Check this out. They can ban you, right, from flying or getting on the train, right? This is stuff that they got that they're doing to their citizens, right? Now, I'm not going to read what it's saying under it. I'm just going to talk about things that they're putting in place to remove rights from their citizens. So their citizens obviously don't have the right to travel because of their credit scoring system. It says throttling up your internet speed. So I guess if you're on the internet too long, especially playing video games, then they suspend your internet, right?
Even though you're paying the same price as everybody else, you can't use it as you choose.
Crazy, right? Banning you or your kids from the best schools, ain't that something?
That's discrimination.
You know what I mean? So you could keep a class of people ignorant, dumb, and oppressed because they can't even get a quality education. This is what they doing in China. It says also, stop you.
And also what they can do, they could, the fact that they have a social score, they could set the tone to where, just like they've done here, they set the tone. We was talking about it offline. They set the tone for you to fail. You know what I'm saying? Remember we were just talking about
we were just talking about that. Yeah.
So if they set the system for you to fail, they can always have a group of people on that downside in order to use them for those low-paying jobs, those those factory jobs. If you don't know better, if you're miseducated and unintelligent, they can kind of lay out the form, like lay out the trail for you to just go down this wrong road. You know what I'm saying? To have your social credit score in a way to keep you out of the loop, in other words.
Exactly.
Getting best jobs.
You see that? Stop you from getting the best jobs. Now, isn't that similar to the scheme behind the cancel culture? Is to ruin your reputation, to ruin your opportunities, to get you fired from your job, to get you kicked out of school if you're in school. This is the stuff that they try to do. I'm correlating this. Yeah, I'm trying to show it's the same thing. What's going on in China is a hard version of what's happening here. What we have going on here with this cancel culture is a soft version of this social credit score system in China, right?
It's an experiment here, but it's in full form there.
Yeah. That's what I'm getting at, right?
2014 is up to speed in 2020, and they've been slowly implementing it over here.
Yeah.
And in some of our later videos, we're gonna prove how China is really in bed with all of our people in power.
In the core circle. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get to that, y'all. We're gonna get to that. Now check this out, right? So number 5, keeping you out of the best hotels, right? This is stuff they doing in China. Getting your dog taken away, man. That means people don't even have, man, they can't even own their dog, man. That's insane. I'm
slavery.
the one to feed the dog, but I can't own it. Make that make sense.
That's slavery.
But check this out. I want to go somewhere with this, right? Because I'm still unpacking this, right? Now, this social credit system, now this is from Wikipedia. We stated this in previous videos that we know that Wikipedia is not an accredited source, all right? We don't want people to attack us on that. No, it's not an accredited source, right? We know that educational institutions do not accept Wikipedia as a bona fide source or citation, right?
But
however,
go ahead. Yeah.
I would say, however, what we like about Wikipedia is that not only do it explain stuff very well, but the people who write in Wikipedia typically give you a footnote to where the source came from. So this is why we're using Wikipedia. And I just want to touch this one part. We're not reading this whole thing. This is one part, right? Now, right here, matter of fact, let me highlight this. It says the social credit system, right, in China is a national blacklist, right? So they blackballing people, right? Being developed by the government of the People's Republic of China under the CCP General Secretary, and then it says his administration. But the point that I'm raising is the CCP. I want people to understand what the CCP is. The CCP is the Chinese Communist Party. Chinese Communist Party. All right. Now I'm still unpacking this because I want people to understand what you're dealing with. I want you to understand what's going on here in America. So let's take a look at this. Some of you all never heard of Mao Zedong. All right. Mao Zedong. I just highlighted his name at the top. And this is a page of quotes from him. All right. Now he was a great communist a philosopher in China, right? Now, I want to read something to you all. All right. I want to read this to you all because this right here, I think is going to hit home when I read this. I really believe it's going to hit home, and I'm highlighting it. Now, Mao Zedong, right, said this in 1939. Now, this quote is from December 1939, and it's a part of his work called The Chinese Revolution in the Chinese Communist Party. Again, the same Chinese Communist Party that's running China today. This is what he said. He said, taken as a whole, the Chinese revolutionary movement led by the Communist Party embraces two stages, the democratic and the socialist revolutions, which are two essentially different revolutionary processes. And the second process can be carried through only after the first has been completed. Now, he just told you the first process is democratic, right? But then the second one is socialist revolution. So in order for the socialist revolution to be carried through, the democratic revolution got to happen first. Now, he goes on and he says, the democratic revolution is the necessary preparation for the socialist revolution, and the socialist revolution is the inevitable sequel to the democratic revolution. The ultimate aim for which all communists strive is to bring about a socialist and communist society. So what I'm trying to explain is this. Now let's go back to this manual that was issued by our government 10 years, matter of fact, 11 years before Mao Zedong gave this quote, right? Or gave this writing. These words came from his mouth in his book. Now let's go to the manual. Our government was already telling our young citizens, our citizens in the military, right, that democracy leads to communism. Because democracy, the attitude towards property is communistic, negating property rights. Democracy results in mobocracy. What I'm trying to say is that cancel culture, right, which is regulated by people's emotions, their passions, their prejudices, their impulse, right? Now, their prejudice exists because, again, to me, telling somebody that they can't freely express themselves by wearing something from a different culture is a form of segregation. It's a form of prejudice, right? What I'm trying to say is that all of this that we're experiencing with the cancel culture is simply nothing more than democracy, and democracy leads to a socialist revolution, which ultimately leads to communism. That's what I'm trying to say. And I believe the Chinese Communist Party is behind all of it here in America. Yes, I do.
And we're going to prove it.
We're going to prove it.
Not today, but we're going to prove it. Because we don't have time today, but we just laying the foundation of what's going on. So in other words, we're saying to wake up.
Wake up.
You know what I'm saying? We need to wake up and smell a coffee. You know, this YouTube video is a small venue whenever we're going against what Congress is saying,
exactly,
what the schools are teaching, what the presidents are saying. So we have a duty to understand ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And everything is documented. We're not bringing this stuff up from our asses. You know what I'm saying? We're going and getting bona fide documents from the Library of Congress, National Archives, you know, the Constitution. We're getting everything to lay it out so to as we can hopefully help prevent what's being done in China, and that's actually pouring over in America.
Yes,
you know,
it is.
So it's very important to just overstand and we have to resist. We have to resist the ignorance. We have to resist the miseducation. We have to resist the misinformation, because the real information, as you see, is right here.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 1928 versus 1939, 11 years they started after this 1928, where we're trying to defend what they started to put together 11 years later, and then in 2020 it's fully implemented.
Hey, Rodney, and I'm alleging, this is allegations that Keith is saying. I'm alleging, right, that the CCP, right, is specifically working with the Democratic Party here in America to spread socialism, right, which leads to communism. Now, I'm not saying that it's only the Democratic Party. I believe there's some Republicans involved in this too. Right. But I definitely believe the Democratic Party definitely is working with them, and we have evidence that shows this, that is something going on, something fishy. Now, again, democracy, right, is mob rule, is mobocracy. The attitude towards property is communistic. These are facts, y'all. And guess what? Guess what it say at the bottom? It results in anarchy. That's what's going to happen at some point.
What's anarchy for those who don't know? Give them a definition of anarchy, just in case, you know, they may not have time to look it up. We're going to look it up for you.
Got you. Anarchy, a state of disorder due to absence of recognition of authority. Anarchy. That's what it can lead to. It's anarchy. Now, we're not saying it. Our federal government said, our Department of Defense said this back in 1928.
So the state of disorder due to the absence of non-recognition of authority, they're trying to non-recognize the republic.
Exactly.
They're trying to replace it with democracy, and they're trying to say that democracy is the new authority, and they're actually trying to mix it in the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? They're saying the Constitution is based in democracy. They're saying it, but they can't prove it. You know what I'm saying? Because they know people don't read, they know it's not in school, so therefore they can just say it. And the fact that they're government officials, and we go to them for, we foolishly go to them and begging them and asking them for things whenever they are public servants. Look up the word servant. Servant means they serve us, but we go to them and we act like we're the goddamn servants. So the fact that we act like we're the servants, they treating us as such. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get beyond that. We have to get beyond that and hopefully not allow what's taking place to fully take place. It's going to be a group of people who are going to resist this, and I'm going to be one of them, because this is a complete how can you say you not own your dog? How can you say you can't go to a particular school, you can't go to a specific hotel, restaurant, things of this nature? That's slavery.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's slavery without the chains.
Yeah. It'll turn it to voluntary servitude. It's not involuntary because you don't know to resist.
You're right. they're trying to subvert. This is what Rodney's talking about, y'all. I have Article 4 of our federal constitution here in America. Article 4, Section 4 guarantees us. It says the United States shall guarantee to every state in this union a Republican form of government. We're guaranteed a Republican form of government. The United States of America is a republic. It is not a democracy, regardless of what your politicians, these state actors, right, professors, or any of them say. We have a republic.